Hey everybody, Jay Barino here, welcome back. Playing some more UEDAIP. It's a remix of the original campaigns created by Nekron for StarCraft Remastered. We're on the 5th mission of Rebel Yell, Revolution. Originally, I guess in the game files, this was named the Antiguan Revolt, interestingly enough. The UEDAIP description for this is medium-scale TVT with a weak Antiguan ally. Enemy has tech advantage, but also uses pretty inefficient compositions and is bad at defending. Enabled Goliaths compared to the original expansion denial is key to winning. Okay. Well, in terms of expansion denial, the only expansions that we could potentially deny them is maybe here in the middle. Like, it's possible they're going to try to island hop over to us and set up an expansion down there, so we can stop that. That might be key. Also, there's a lot of stuff around us. Now, typically, this is part of our Antiguan base, but we'll see what that's all about when we get started. We can skip this. We've seen them. We've seen them all. Let's go. It's nighttime. You'll love to see it. Also, there's some gas up here. Only 624, though.
This should be good.
Typically, there's no resistance between the start and Kerrigan. Let's go see.
Sounds fun.
Captain Raynor, I finished scouting out the area and... You pig!
What? I haven't even said anything to you yet.
Yeah, but you were thinking it.
Oh, yeah. You're a telepath. Look, let's just get on with this, okay?
Right.
Right.
What now?
Okay, so now we have Kerrigan. We can heal her by standing her next to a barracks, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and move these folks forward. Again, we want to be careful.
It'd be a
Raynor can kill infantry very easily. I mean, they both can.
these things. They can sense me even when I'm cloaked. We should take these out.
I was going to say, I just saw some guys that ran by. I'm kind of curious to see what she can do. I saw some civilians run away. It's possible that they actually just move forward to
I gotcha.
man some mech.
It'd be a pleasure.
Okay, I see some wraiths there too. Let's go ahead and take these out. So this is where that big expansion was. We're going to want to come down and take this and set up defense around it pretty early, I think.
What now? Lieutenant
Let's move forward. We can lock down. We do have lockdown, right? EMP shockwave is an interesting thing that we have now. So she shoots slower, but does 50 concussive damage. That's no joke. It is concussive damage, which is not the best.
What now?
But as long as it gets us what we need. So let's see which way we want to go. Never mind, we can only go this way. So let's see the best way to get her in there. It's going to be up that ramp. There's a missile turret there. So very typical. We're going to have to tank one of these bunkers with Jim.
Same thing.
Or we can just cloak her and run by. She'd probably live. And then again, we have a healing aura on our barracks. So that would be fine. Let's go ahead and do this. Again, as long as they're attacking Jim, this is perfectly fine. Reset them a little bit. Okay, I don't see another
What now?
turret, so we should be able to cloak and just walk in.
Same thing.
And as soon as we gain control after this, we're going to want to save and figure out what we're doing next. Like, this bunker is actually not in range of being hit. So we're not going to be able to wipe this stuff out easily with just the Antiguan defenses. Classic.
I've taken care of business on this end, Commander. I think the Antigans are ready to back us up, too.
That's right. We've tolerated these Confederate goons long enough.
Ooh, look at those SCVs immediately start mining by themselves. Yeah, you love that. Okay, go ahead and hop in here, buddy. Here, go ahead and help. Again, Jim can tank a lot of this stuff. Let's take out these bunkers and give ourselves some room. Now, keep in mind, the enemy Marines are worse too, so it kind of works out in that way. I'm gonna go ahead and grab our machine shop early, and let's start pumping out some Marines because they're cheap.
I'm picking up a large Confederate strike force advancing on our position.
Well, they're not wasting any time.
Sounds fun.
We can do the same thing. Come on over here and take care of this. Antigua does repair their stuff. You love to see that. Okay. Let's go ahead and run in with Jim. Antigua has some tanks, too. We probably want to set up some defense for them on the outskirts of their base. Save.
Complete.
Siege tech. And ghosts are very good. We gotta remember that. Ghosts are quite good. So let's go ahead and get some Marines out so we can go and secure that big expansion. And again, we're going to want to make sure that we protect the Antigans. We need an engineering base so we can make turrets. Again, we probably want to give them some turrets along the edges here. And again, if we could move out and make sure that they're not going to take this right away. It really depends on where they choose to drop on us and things like that. In fact, I could even send Kerrigan. She's still cloaked. We're wasting energy. Come on down here. But I think the earlier we can get down there, the better. Even just setting up a couple tanks and then eventually getting turrets. Let's use Raynor to maybe kill the Marines and Goliath, please. There we go. I think Kerrigan can help with this. Let's go ahead and move these guys down here to ensure that, again, we don't get dropped on. Keep making SCVs. It's going to be difficult to survive these attacks. We can go ahead and get maybe a turret down here to get started. Are those the Antigans that are moving out to drop already? Like, wow, look at that. Saving a lot, but again, I just want to ensure that we don't lose Jim here accidentally. It's going to get one early tank as well. We could set it up here and have it start attacking some of this stuff across the way. And in case anything lands on us, we'd be in better shape. Random Wraith there. This is why I'm thinking we're going to want to make sure we keep making SCVs and then eventually turrets along the edges. Just getting one missile turret over here is going to make a massive difference. And then Kerrigan, make your way up here.
I'm ready. I gotcha.
Ooh, the idle worker shimmer. I love that. So that was part of Nekron and UED Commander's Mapperino entry. I'm actually a big fan of this. Actually a pretty big fan of this. It's just it's one of those like nice little quality of life things. That's really, really neat. Now it depends on where they drop on us again, because they're going to have some stuff down here. Maybe we can give them a tank and some SCVs that can auto repair for them. Apparently the auto repair has been made a little bit more responsive. Okay, never mind. Cancel that. Let's just go ahead and set up a tank up here instead. Yeah, just like that. That's a decent amount of stuff. And we're trying to dissuade them from dropping over here. And yes, they are trying to expand over in this direction. Okay, cancel that. And what we can do is start making some more Marines just kind of sit down here. And we can hold on to this upper ledge. And then separately, let's come on over here and give them some turrets along the outskirts here. We just need to dissuade them from dropping over here.
Lieutenant Kerrigan reporting.
Okay, and there's our auto repair helping us out. Let's send Kerrigan over in this direction. They've got some unsieged tanks. Unfortunately, not the best of, or the smartest of mechanics that they could be choosing to do. But that's all right. We'll eventually get what we need set up down here. These are all mostly full. And I want to start this as soon as possible, please. There we go. So see, that shoos them away, and it kills their dropships. Eventually, they'll try to start dropping in other directions. So we're not quite at that point yet, but eventually they're going to start dropping in other locations, and that's where we have to be cognizant of that and careful. Wraith, why don't you just go ahead and follow me all the way in? Not like that. I think ours got the first shot. Let's do this. Come on. You'll love to see it. We'll give them one turret over here. Okay, so they have tanks on their side. We need to get tanks on our side set up, again, because they can just casually see over the edge there. Falling behind on supply, again, maybe getting a little too relaxed. Let's go ahead and set this up and actually put Marines into it this time. Run an SCV down here. This is gonna be a little dicey for quite some time as we get this set up. Antigua's like, they're patrolling around, they're doing stuff. It's not gonna be anything super useful though, I think. I think they're meant to be weak based on the description of the map. Let's go ahead and grab one more. And then we need gas. Okay, I'd like to get another turret just sort of set up right on top of that so that can't be hit by the tanks on the edge, but we also need our own stuff. I think the Antigans can handle this because of the low ground advantage, or high, you know what I mean. The high ground advantage. Hop in here. Give them a turret here. That's just about done, so we can set up some more turrets. Again, hanging on to this location seems incredibly important. I'd like to get one more turret, and then we'll saturate this base, and then we should be able to afford to actually make more stuff. Again, that's potentially the biggest challenge. So otherwise, I can't really afford other SCVs or other combat units, etc., etc. So again, we need to get a few tanks in multiple locations. I would love it if maybe they actually utilized these bunkers that they have. They're just not using them. Okay, that's good. And we'll get another barracks set up here for the healing aura. You guys hop in here. I think we'll leave Kerrigan here just in case. And I need to be able to build some tanks. That's going to be crucial, and then we can figure out exactly how we're going to be able to move forward here. We're not quite where we need to be, but we'll get there. See, they could drop, like, right there, which I don't like. I might just give them a turret right there. And it's tough because, like, I could dump a bunch of money into static defense, but I don't have it to spend. When I will have the money available to spend, I won't need it anymore. That's kind of how this is going to go, I think. I'll move Kerrigan down here because, again, this is kind of the crucial area that needs the most support. Keep making SCVs. We don't really need any extra gas right now. Even getting, like, one tank and putting it maybe over here could be the best thing I could do for the Antigans. Or probably, you know, I don't know. It's tough to say. Yeah, let's get one down here. Keep making those SCVs. They're trying to get around us. Again, the only way to really dissuade this is we're going to need our own tanks to hold the edge so that they can't set up their own tanks. Let's grab an academy. Okay, that's exactly what I was setting up to avoid, was that specifically. Okay, looks like they were picked up and have been moved. That's perfectly fine. Get some more tanks, start rallying them down there, and now I can go ahead and get a barracks over here. The aura is fine. Again, it's just, it's a little helpful. I'm going to start making Marines, and I'll get another factory down here as well. I don't need extra gas right now. Let's save. We're sort of stable. And it said that we needed to deny expansions. That's what we did, so. Oh, Jim. Okay, the Antigans helped me. That was nice. Lockdown? Thought I hit L. I'm hitting L. I'll click it. That's fine. Okay, he's dead. I was gonna say, I was like trying to maybe make that work. Again, we didn't get those tanks down there quite. Oh, this was right when we had saved too. Get around there, buddy. Go ahead and cloak. Get out of the way. I'm gonna get some spider mines set up here. That might stop the drop from hitting us. They can see her? They must have... Wait, what? I'm trying so hard to mass repair here. No, please let me load before you kick me out. I don't think I was too aggressive with taking this. As I've talked about in the past, part of it is there's a luck element with just ensuring that you have enough supply in the right spots. If you don't, then you just get roasted like this. Oh, get out of the way! Okay. Everyone loves the pathing. Oh, there's the scan, I see. Cool. Jim killed himself. I think we have an irrecoverable save here. I'll just go ahead and restart completely, and I'll be back kind of around when, I guess. I don't know. I'll estimate how far we were in. Okay. I think I'm in a better spot. I've been cycling saves. So let's cycle here. Yeah, I've learned, like, we need to make sure we cycle, and we'll be in a better spot. So, we've got our heroes down here in a pretty good spot. We're pretty well saturated up here. I've been getting more tanks. I'm building more Marines. Now, my concern is this area down here. We're going to need to build some defense for the Antigans, else they will get overrun. But now I think I can afford to spend some money on them. I was a little delayed on getting this set up this time, but it's interesting. I've actually played this multiple times, and it was very difficult. It was very difficult to get set up the way that I needed to. I don't know. It's interesting how I just sort of casually denied that expansion when I did the first time, and then I tried multiple times after and really struggled with it, interestingly enough. So, you know, it's interesting how that kind of stuff can change. We have more tanks coming in, more SCVs coming down to repair. We do need to hold this edge as best as possible without getting sniped by this tank over here, so we'll just try to kind of line this edge. Once this CC is done, we can build more bunkers and such. And then we have to, again, do our best to try to protect the Antigans. Set that up there. Trying to set up some additional, again, tanks and turrets. Just like this on the edge. Start getting this saturated. That extra damage should help. I used mines down here to repel that first initial attack. I think that's made a nice difference.
Your forces are under attack.
Okay, just, you know, wraiths. That's, I think, fine. Okay, and I would like to get an armory.
Not enough minerals.
100, okay. Go ahead and set that up. That's fine. You can chase me. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to get a bunker right here as well. Or not. I don't know. Okay, we'll get a bunker here instead.
Yes, sir. Delighted to, sir.
I'm ready.
Delighted to, sir.
Okay, that's fine. And then I know that there's a tank right there. Eventually we're going to be able to start making our own wraiths. The sooner we can do that, the better. It's pricey and expensive to do right now. Bunkers in general just don't feel as good to me here, if only because our Marines are worse as well. They can absorb a little bit of heat, but that's about it. Okay, I'm going to get one more turret over here, kind of spread that turret line out. And I would like to get an academy. Feeling a little bit better on this attempt. Grab vehicle weapons and start getting a couple Goliaths.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, we're going to keep just saturating, and I think we're in a pretty good spot here. I want to get ComSat set up as soon as possible. Sometimes the little sparkle doesn't work. I think that's fine, though. It's very similar to the auto repair, where, you know, it just takes some time. I was a little irritated with it last time I played, but, like, in general, I'm very happy with how it works, and I think that the auto repair has been significantly improved upon based on what Nekron has told me in the past. So I think I feel a little better about that. Again, we want to get some turrets spread out in general. Again, this is why I'm making extra turrets along the edge here to stop this from happening. Let's go ahead and build some Marines to throw inside this. Again, they might get stuck on the ramp, which is one thing that we maybe can rely upon to help us. We'll get a tank up here as well to help support that area. Maybe a bunker over here would be good, just in case. Again, it's possible that the Antigans will get dropped on over there. We got to be extra careful.
Upgrade complete.
Okay, and I can get a ComSat now, and I would like to go ahead and grab that healing aura and grab another barracks down here so that we can just spam Marines out as necessary. Yeah, 200. Okay, there we go. Taking this gas seems a little dangerous, and I also don't need it right now. Okay. Hop on over here and up here. Let's grab infantry armor 1. And if we can get upgrades on these Marines, then we're cooking with gas. Then we're cooking with gas. Okay, I think that's good in terms of turrets. I'll give the Antigans one over here as well. I just don't want these. I don't want their mining capability destroyed. Do they need to survive? It doesn't say that like our allies technically need to survive, but it would be a mistake not to help them, I think. I'm also doing my best to take out the Rainer, please. The dropships. I think that makes a big difference too. Okay, we're gonna have that aura right there, and then eventually we can get U-238 shells, which seems to be really, really important for this faction. Now I need to start thinking about actually winning. Let's go ahead and throw down two starports. Need to put one in a place where I can throw an add-on on it as well, and just start getting a bunch of wraiths. I'm gonna grab
Not enough minerals.
another refinery is what I was thinking. I was gonna say another factory, but I actually can't really afford to produce out of it if I wanted to. There we go. We got our little aura. Again, it's not as nice. It's not quite that quick. Obviously, you could cheese with that. I don't want to cheese with it. I'm just saying it's possible to. So that's why I'm cognizant of that, and I'm not going to go overboard with super cheese. With like the floating barracks, or it's possible it loses the aura when it's floating as well. I'm not sure how that's all accounted for. I'm just saying it's a possibility. And let's go ahead and unsiege and set this up here because they don't have a tank set up there currently. Yes, they do. We can, again, get a tank kind of right on the edge here instead. Let's just put Jim in the mineral line and stop them from doing this. They're going to keep trying to go around us because we have a very large defensive line right there. Okay, ship weapons. These are still coming up. Again, we're going to want to get Apollo reactor and all that good stuff. All right, now I'm starting to float money. So, I mean, the only thing that I could do is just start throwing down turrets everywhere. Start making Marines. And, you know, like, I'm trying to get my infrastructure set up on time here. I think it's going to work. Okay, we have some more tanks coming up. We can get some extra Goliaths as well. We're going to need to drop on them eventually. Okay, so these are finally done. So let's go ahead and start getting some wraiths. Go ahead and pop on gas. Let's get... I mean, I can afford Marines, so I guess just make Marines. It's possible we can hit this from over here. Okay. Fall in, buddy. And this is where, like, we could throw one idle SCV in here to repair. And, like, yeah, let's get some of these Wraith upgrades as we build up some gas. I can oversaturate these just the tiniest bit. And now we need gas. Well, we can go ahead and fill this up too. I feel like the Antigans are decently defended, or sufficiently defended, and I think white is mostly going to be going for this area. I can grab another. I mean, yeah, sure. Let's grab a factory over here, so we can get more tanks along this edge. We want tanks along this edge. We could just siege the crap out of this edge. In fact, hey, look at that! Nice job, Antigua. We could get tanks over here to kill their SCVs, to like roast their economy. Again, there's a lot of good possibilities we have here. We kind of popped off in terms of our economy, and I think it's important that we capitalize on that now and just actually build these units. So we're just going to make Wraiths. And Wraiths. And I built another one, didn't I? It was down here. Or maybe it got canceled, I'm not sure. And we're taking this little middle island for ourselves. There we go. So that should protect them at least against wraiths, and I think white is going to be relatively baited into attacking us from this angle. Okay, let's get Kerrigan and wraiths over here. Not wraiths, but we need more turrets. Okay, pull them in. Pull them in. Okay, still waiting on this. Buildings definitely take longer to build as well because of the extra HP. It takes a little bit to get used to that because it's different. It's just different. Again, I'm steadily getting used to it, but it's just different. You know, we want a lot of turrets for detection here. Let's go ahead and grab another ComSat station. I think you're going to be stuck here. And we'll get some Goliaths and rally them down here. And we're going to continue to make wraiths. Like a nice solid chunk of wraiths should be able to cover us and clear out some areas. And building Antigua's little areas here. Antigua's, you know, they're doing some stuff.
Add-on complete.
I really can't stress enough how much I like these sparkly workers. I think they're great. That's something I always struggle with playing StarCraft 1, is just, like, where are my idle workers and what are they doing? Well, being idle, I guess, is the answer to that, but let's make sure we grab, ship plating first, because, again, we're focusing on this Wraith production now. Vespene gas is going to be a persistent issue, and then we're also going to need to be making, what am I thinking? We're going to need to be making drop ships. So we can't just throw away all of our gas on this stuff. In fact, I think we're in a really good position in that we're bottlenecking white from being able to actually do anything. At the same time, it may or may not be the best thing to be doing, if only because now I'm going to struggle to proceed. Like, white's kind of stuck on their little area down there, and they're not willing to try to drop on us, so they're not really spending their money, etc., etc. See that Wraith back there. Look at that. Again, they're going to keep trying to siege up on the edge. I will continue to siege up on the edge. There's that auto repair coming into play. Again, I knew I just needed to give it a chance, and it would wow me eventually. Dude, get him, SCV. Nice work. Okay, well, I guess that was sort of bound to happen. That's why we built that. Yeah, I'm just going to keep making wraiths for now. Get a nice group of them, and we're going to get cloak, and then we'll start making drop ships, and we can do like a doom drop of marines eventually. I like my little wall of tanks along the edge here. I'm going to keep making more as well. Let's make sure that we continue to have turrets in places for this, basically. Yeah, see, as the Wraith Ball starts getting out of control, this is exactly what we need. And then Raynor's here. I don't know where Kerrigan is. I'm less well, I mean, I should be concerned with that, but yeah, she's somewhere around here. Okay, I'm not sure if Wraiths have been made better in any meaningful way. It's possible. The other thing, too, that I'm kind of looking forward to do is I'm just going to drop, like, right in their base here. Again, that's perfectly fine. Let them destroy that. Drop ships now.
Research complete.
We can just build them out of this one that has the control tower. Oh, yeah. See, now we got what we need.
Additional supply depots
Well, we
required.
don't have supply. Are you stuck? Poor guy's stuck. Okay, that's fine. One thing I thought would always be nice in StarCraft 1 is a self-destruct button. Like, basically just like reclaim your supply would be really nice. I was talking in the UEDAIP Discord between my attempts about how, like, man, I really struggled. After my first attempt, things were going really well, and now suddenly it's a lot harder. Or it feels like the timer was a lot tighter. Interestingly enough, I don't know why, but regardless of that, Nekron had said that if you set up tanks along here and cripple their economy, it actually makes a big difference. It'd be cool trying that out. You know what? Just hit this. There we go. Now I don't have to worry about it. There's Kerrigan, by the way. Now I need to wait for dropships. This is my, like, I spent too long, like, being obsessed with this defensive line, and now it's like, hey, did you know that you need dropships to play this mission? Also, I'm pretty sure Antigua is not going to help. I think they're just, they exist. That's it, they exist. Wonder, again, because we have them sort of bottlenecked here, I wonder if we could get away with building the turret right on the edge here to stop this. Because, again, we have to keep scanning for this. So, like, right there, that might be enough to see them. We've got plenty of energy, so that's no problem. And then the nice thing, too, again, with the auto-repair, is we can just plop our wraiths here, and eventually we'll just get repaired. I quite like that a lot. I have a lot of minerals, but just not enough gas, I think. I will go ahead and grab another starport, though, so we can get this ball rolling, I guess. Here come the... Yes, exactly. We don't need that many of these. It's such a short drop distance that we can just pick up and drop off over here, and we're all set. Let's get one more tank so that we can kind of set it up here and take out that turret. Also, that's their... It looked like that right there is their production of wraiths, so we could probably just go ahead and destroy that with our own wraiths. Because it's on the high ground, so they have no actual defense for it except wraiths. We could also just drop some marines up there. We don't have any mobile detection. I mean, neither do they. Hey, look at that. Yeah, see? Antigua's, they're killing it. They're doing a great job. I wonder how long, if I just sat here, I wonder how long it would take for Antigua to just win the game. I bet they could do it. I really bet they could. It would take some time, but I'm confident they could probably get away with it. So let's peek in here. So this isn't going to be easy, but I think we can make multiple drops. There is a ground path up there. Okay, so that's group 1. Start making wraiths. Just keep making wraiths. It's one of the few missions where I'm just going to make wraiths. I feel like I just got some framiness, kind of out of the ordinary. So let's see how they react to this. Or maybe they won't. I've been playing too much Warcraft 3 where, like, you have the audacity to attack a single building and then the enemy's like, how dare you? Go ahead and scan in advance. Take this guy out. I don't think this was enough wraiths to make a move here. Let's go ahead and back up. Again, we'll get repaired. SCVs. Siege up here. Perfect. We can see it. That should be enough dropships. Again, let's just go to make a group of Goliaths and tanks and get ready to drop over there. I mean, we could try to set up a barracks over here, too. That's part of the issue, is, like, I can't reinforce when I start dropping. So that keeps it difficult to... Go ahead and keep this up. And we just want to get rid of that. We'll drop right at the top here. Keep it up. One more. Perfect. Okay, so that's gone.
Additional supply depots required.
So, like, mass marine drop is not... I mean, I made too many marines ultimately now. I was like, oh, I have too many minerals.
Base is under attack.
By the way, this can be wraiths. Never mind, not enough depots. Let's just go ahead and start dropping over there. We'll figure it out. I think we have enough stuff that we can consolidate and get over there. Full. This is why I don't like dropping. I get confused. I'm an easily confused person. I'm an old man, all right?
Go ahead.
Full.
I'm listening. I copy that.
Channel open. Commander.
Please.
Hang on. We're into some chops.
Full.
Strap yourselves in, boys.
Full.
Transit HQ.
I've talked about an idea I have where, like, you could set up a logistics path, if this makes sense, where, like, the idea is what you can do is tell your dropships to, like, move back and forth between a certain location, and if you move units to it, they'll just ferry units back and forth constantly. That way you can, like, effectively rally units. I think that could be really cool.
I copy that. Buckle up.
Base is under attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, kill those mines. You're still full. You're done. You're done. Another reason why I don't like dropping.
Your forces are under attack.
You have to constantly, like, flip through your stuff and see what... Let's bring these guys over here.
Identify target. Moving. Coordinates received. Identify.
And now we have to make multiple trips. Again, part of the issue I do have with dropping in general. Let's come on over here. There we go. Okay, and then just back up. Again, let them come to us. We're steadily taking this stuff out. We can keep pushing forward here in a moment. This is where I struggle transitioning from middle to late game, where, like, now I have so much money just sort of languishing in a bank. And now I also, again, can't reinforce these armies, so it's just gonna... It's gonna be difficult, that's all. Again, this is going pretty well. Just gotta dive in and kill that production there. What I'm gonna do is grab some SCVs,
Your forces are
or even just one SCV, so we can get some detection so that these wraiths can finally stop being a nuisance. I should have just sealed the deal and killed that other, I should have sealed the deal and just killed that other, Wait, did I put him in a dropship? There he is. Dude, Antigua! I knew it. Should have sealed the deal and killed that other starport, because that's been my main issue right now. I don't think they have a comm set anymore, so we could just fly around with impunity and kill some tanks. I mean, there are still turrets. Okay, let's go and pick up another round of units. And we've won. Again, this is one where, like, I could have probably done this a lot earlier. I didn't start making my dropships when I needed to. Again, I recognize where things went wrong, but at the same time, I think we did really well here. After the first attempt, though, it was difficult trying to get back to where I was. It just felt inconsistent, but I'll go back and watch the VOD. It's possible it wasn't, and I just got sort of lucky. It's very possible I got lucky and didn't even realize it with denying that first expansion. I really can't say. Anyway, let's move up and support these tanks. This is another reason why I would really like auto repair, is like a tank push would be easier, I should say. I think a tank push would be much easier. Cool, so they're gutted. This shouldn't take much longer. Antigua is rampaging. No longer a mere colony of the Confederacy. It's possible they're also out of money now. Now, there is a way you can disable the auto repair if you want to, I should point out. I think some people could get frustrated with it because they're like, oh, it's wasting my money. I mean, obviously, I'm floating so much money that it doesn't even matter at this point. But, you know, there's a command you can type to turn it off. I don't know if that would, like, turn off the sparkly boys or not, too, though. Everybody loves the sparkly boys. Keep it up. I think we have enough stuff we can just perpetually push over here and take this stuff out. We even built a little, like a full base over here, too. Yeah, I mean, again, we can just auto-attack. We don't really even... We can just auto-attack with no abandon at this point. I think we've gotten it. But this is partly, like, now that I've played it once, I think it'd be really satisfying to play again and just sort of, like, be able to use your brain. Again, like, sieging down this and realizing that that is an active economic hotspot early on. That's not something I think that the first time you're playing through a map you're really thinking about. I mean, I know I'm not. My first thought is, like, where do I need a defensive line to not get murdered instantly? So, like, that big red attack that happened here, the first time I played the map, it felt like that didn't happen as early as it did the second and third and then fourth times that I was restarting. Like, I don't mind restarting. It's kind of, I've talked about how I see that as kind of the point of some of these maps, is, like, learning them. And by extension, you know, they'll take me a little extra time. I think that's perfectly acceptable. But, again, also acknowledging, like, even when I struggle with maps sometimes, is like looking back and be like, hey, if I replayed this, I can recognize the things I could do differently that weren't necessarily intuitive to me the first time that actually would be, I think, you know, make the map, number one, a lot easier and maybe more satisfying in like a way that you sort of can master it. Like, you know, the attacks, the first couple attacks consistently come from the first location. You block the enemy SCV from expanding. You set up tanks along the bottom to deny their expansion in the bottom right, or not their expansion, but their economy in the bottom right. That's the kind of stuff that, like, if you can nail all of that with the revisiting of the map, I think is what makes these even more fun than they already are. I think I look at my APM here, and it's like, well, that's because, like I said, I struggle moving from mid-game to late game, especially on a map where I have to drop. I think in, like, UEDAIP Brood War missions, I was better at it. But I think my APM falls drastically at the end of the game when I'm just sort of sitting around and not really sure exactly how and where to make a move. And at that point, again, if you average the APM across the whole mission instead of just the beginning, where I probably am a lot more active, you know, then it starts to fall off drastically. Again, I'm not super self-conscious about my APM. It's just something that I think about, again, not in like a self-conscious manner, but like it's something that I think about, and maybe to explain to you all that this is what happens. But I'll try to get better at it, especially with like Marine spam. Something we can do now, but we couldn't do in the original Terran faction. We could just get those units out. And if we don't have to drop them with dropships, you know, that'll make a difference. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.